Brian Mudd, and this is my cheat sheet for Tuesday, October 25th. Steve Jobs, his passing led to the ramping up of the biography. The one written about him was originally going to be released next spring. Well, it came out the door on Monday. It's topping the bestseller list. I'm not going to get into the book itself, but I did want to share with you the 7 rules of success from Steve Jobs. These are actually rules that he published over 30 years ago and is reported to have reviewed daily to ensure that he was on course. Do what you love. Put a dent in the universe. In other words, you got to make a big impact. Make connections with people. Say no to 1,000 things. This ties into one of the more famous stories about him. When he came back into Apple in 1997, Apple had over 100 different products, none of which were winning. He eliminated all but 9 of them within the first week and focused on those 9 and trying to make them great. And simplistic, by the way. So he says sometimes saying no is far more important than ever saying yes to anybody about anything. Be great at what you do rather than trying to do a bunch of different things. Create insanely different experiences. Master the message. And sell dreams, not products. And if you think about these rules and you think about what the Apple Corporation has done with its products, you can see that he was definitely focused on his message and he delivered on the expectation of that message as well. I've got the full information about these 7 that is on the physical cheat sheet today. Meanwhile, here's a Netflix lesson for you. Netflix, the big news yesterday was that they lost 800,000 subscribers in the last quarter. We knew they were in trouble. Netflix stock just 4 months ago was at $317 a share. When it opens for trading today, it will be in the mid-80s. They will have lost or destroyed, depending upon the way you look at it, about $10 billion in their company's value, arbitrarily. Something on the conference call I think is a lesson we can all learn from. The CEO acknowledged that perhaps the biggest mistake at all was giving happy customers a reason to rethink their habits. In other words, at the point at which you're a habitual user of something, as long as nothing disrupts what otherwise is a positive experience, you stay. And you might even use more. But if somebody disrupts that service, think of, for example, like if you have the internet and you love your internet at home, but then it goes down on you. You don't think about the options about subscribing to that internet service until it goes down on you. And if it happens enough, why then you're going to consider other options for it. And you could leave that company altogether. That's what Netflix did here. There are so many choices out there. Their customers were happy. The biggest issue wasn't trying to raise prices or split the streaming and the DVD business. It was giving happy customers a reason to consider the other options out there. That's something we can all learn from anytime we make decisions in our lives and in our business. Will it be a decision that disrupts our best customers that are already happy with us? And if the answer is yes, then we should not do it, period. And here's one that I think will be a good piece of usable information for us in Florida. The administration might have knocked one out of the park yesterday. Nationwide, this might not be quite as impactful, in large part because in many parts of the country, there aren't a bunch of homes that are more than 125% underwater. We know in Florida there sure are. A new program announced by the government yesterday that should actually go into force on Friday would allow all Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac backed mortgages. That means mortgages that had an original loan valuation under $417,000. The majority of those loans are Fannie or Freddie backed. The cap previously for you to be able to refinance under a government assistance program was 125%. For many homeowners in Florida, where the average decline has been 53% since 2006, it still wasn't good enough for a lot of people to refi. And then the modification programs, well, forget it. Unless you were in distress, yet had provable income, you weren't even open to the conversation. So you had a lot of people that strategically defaulted on homes because, well, they didn't want to be underwater, they didn't want the home anymore, they didn't want to have to pay the rates, and they couldn't refinance. Well, this could be the panacea to that particular dilemma. The requirements, in addition to the home being a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac backed loan, would be that you have to make your payments on time. So if you're making your payments on time, we're talking to you, they would waive the limit of $125,000 and would not require a new appraisal for your home. In other words, most mortgages in Florida that are underwater by greater than 25% that have people that are current on the mortgages might be able to get refied starting on Friday. This could be a really good piece of information. I'll stay on top of it over the next couple of days. Got some other really great stories on the physical cheat sheet today for you to try out, but hopefully these little pieces of information I've shared with you have been useful today. Enjoy your day. We'll see you tomorrow.